Hey everybody, and welcome to week one of our 2019 Healthy Holiday Challenge. First of all, thank you so much for joining the challenge. I absolutely love these 10 weeks. It's a good balance of fitness, nutrition, and then also bringing in the holiday spirit. The biggest thing I always want to start with, keep in mind this is your challenge. You're going to set up your own goals. And I think it's important for you to know that there is no shame in missing a workout. There is no shame in falling short of a nutrition challenge. It's there to keep you kind of in that health mindset while we go into these 10 weeks that normally health kind of tends to fall by the wayside in the busyness and the fun of the holidays. And so this is a way of hopefully keeping health and fitness fun for you, and also keeping you on track as much as we can. But please know, it breaks my heart when I get an email, Jen, I'm just sucking at this and this is going terrible for me. Don't stress it, just jump right back on when you can. Just know you might miss a few here or there. However, if you decide to go for 100% completion, that's an awesome goal too. So just know, do what you can. We're supporting you 100%. All right? Awesome. So first thing, let's go ahead and talk about your holiday tracker. You should have gotten this in your email. This is going to kind of keep you on track with where you're at as far as checking off those different tasks that we're asking you to do each week. So as you can see, it starts off with initial check-in, 10-week holiday goals set. Those are gonna be two things we're gonna try and tackle right away this week, and then along with our regular weekly nutrition, fitness, and holiday spirit challenge. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. So keep this little filler handy because you're gonna need that quite a bit throughout the next 10 weeks. Always good to just put it on the fridge, you know? So it's kind of in mind, always in sight, just a thought. Anyways, all right, so week one, Healthy Holiday Challenge, biggest thing, welcome to the challenge. Please know if you have any questions at any time, I am an email away. So jtachieve@gmail.com, this is the email that sends you the weekly emails. You can just reply back to it if you want to. That's not coming from like a MailChimp or a newsletter sender, that is coming straight from my email. You can reply back, I will get it, okay? You can also direct message me on the Facebook page. So if you're on that, feel free to do that as well. Just make sure you're not wandering around lost with questions. That would be such a bummer for me to know that you had a simple question and I could have answered it and you didn't want to bother me or reach out. I promise you it's no bother. I want to make sure that you're successful in this as to whichever level you want to be. So reach out, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our goals for the challenge. Now, the thing I like about this challenge is there's not a preset goal for you. It's not necessarily a body transformation challenge. It's not necessarily a weight loss challenge. So it leaves a lot of space for you to define what you want to get out of the challenge. One thing I have sent over to you is some goal setting forms, okay? You can print out as many of these as you want to. Basically, it's setting 2 goals per page. I have printed off 5 pages because I think that for me, setting 10 goals in 10 weeks sounds like a very doable task. You might want to set 2 or 3. You might want to set 20, and no harm, no foul in however many you want to set. Just make sure that you feel confident that that's what you want to do and that you feel like that's a realistic approach for you to take towards those goals, okay? So basically with the goal setting, we've got define the goal, which action steps do you need to take to accomplish the goal, and then just some questions to kind of remind you as to why that goal is important to you. The biggest thing I want to stress to you on the goal setting, so many times we think that it's massive big actions that happen to achieve goals. It really is not. If you think about, let's just take weight loss as a general goal because it's an easy one to talk through. So many times people think it's all these monumental actions, right? Like you have to do all these big workouts and all these different things. And to be honest with you guys, that's not exactly true. It's not necessarily big action. It's consistent action. And so it's going to be goals that you can even take every single day that are going to help you achieve those goals. So breaking down, for example, that weight loss goal, it might be something, daily action steps might be, drink 100 fluid ounces of water. Make sure I'm getting at least 6 servings of vegetables each day. Work out 5 of 7 days this week. And if you're doing those things consistently, it's highly likely you're gonna start to see some progress in those areas. And if you're not seeing the amount of progress you wanna make, it's easy to kind of start going, fine-tuning that goal and saying, okay, now maybe I actually need to reduce some of my processed food intake, or now I need to reduce my sugar intake. But at least by taking those small daily action steps, you're starting to build in habits that are going to get you to that goal. And that's kind of what I want you thinking of, is which daily action steps can I take that are going to bring me close to my goal in this 10 weeks. And so those are going to be kind of what you're trying to define in those action steps. And then I always think it's important that you actually define why your goal is important, because if you hit some hard moments in your goal, it's good to reflect back on those and go, that's right, that's why this is important. That's why it's better for me to keep pushing towards that rather than falling back into old patterns because that's comfortable. And in this moment of discomfort, I'm not sure really which one I want anymore. And usually when you have a big picture mindset, you're going to be able to stay a little bit more focused. So that was number 2, setting your goals for the, or I'm sorry, number 1, setting your goals for the challenge. Your check-in. I just want an email from you. I want to know a little bit about who you are if I don't already know you. Even if I do know you, I would like to know kind of what your goals are for the challenge. I think that's kind of a way for us to connect and for me to kind of know what everyone's working towards. And I think that's kind of a fun way for you to stay accountable also. So check in, let me know what it is you're trying to do with this challenge. And then honestly, after you've sent that email, guess what? You already get to cross off that first box. Like just bam, already done, right? And it was just an email, so too easy. All right, so nutrition. Halloween, I'm not telling you can't have any candy, but I am asking you to only have 3 pieces. Okay, so Halloween can be kind of a slippery slope. People tend to buy their Halloween candy early. Smart, right? Because you're planning, you're getting ready for everything. But usually people start digging into that candy bowl ASAP. And so we are just trying to avoid that. So this is you going into the week of Halloween going, I get 3 pieces. I'm gonna make them 3 good pieces so that you're not eating, you know, something gross like just one of those plain Hershey's bars. Like for me, that would do absolutely nothing for me. But like, you know, those little packets of candy corn, sign me up for all 3 of my candies as those. And we can have the whole candy corn debate later, but they're good. And that should be the winning comment right there. So anyways, nutrition, 3 pieces or less. That's gonna be your focus this week. With that, what are you gonna do with the candy as soon as Halloween's over? Man, I would say the sooner you can get out of your house, the better. Most of the time we're left with just buckets and buckets. I get that your kids might not let you throw away all the candy, but see if you can donate it. I know a lot of the dental places here in town, or at least here in Billings, do like the candy buyback. And so if that's an option, that might be fantastic. So just be kind of on the lookout for different options of what you can do with the candy afterwards, because the longer it sits in your house, the more likely you are to continue having it, right? So something to think about for you there. For your fitness challenge this week, we have a fitness test. The great thing about this fitness test is it is 12 or less minutes. If you finish the required amount of work in less than 12 minutes, then your score is your time, okay? If you do not finish the amount of required work in that 12 minutes, then your score is the reps, and then you're going to note how far you got so that you know coming back into this, because we're gonna do this later on in the challenge, if you have improved or not. And so that's kind of a cool way for you to get a baseline of where you are now. And then over the course of the next 10 weeks, we try and see some improvement in your fitness level. So there are 3 options with that: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So just make sure you pick and choose which one is the right one for you. There's demos to each workout, which basically takes you through the movements and tells you how to do the workout. And then there's also fulls of each workout, which the full is basically me taking on that workout challenge. And so if you'd like to do that right alongside of me, feel free to do that. This one is easy to set up. It is just a timer and you just run it for 12 minutes, okay? So that's probably gonna be the easiest timer that we have to set up. So kind of a little note to you on that. If you're wanting my recommendation on timer, actually, before we move on, I like Gymboss. It's Gymboss, and it's in any app store and it's free. I think they have a premium version. I've never used it, so I don't know if it's worth it. I really should look into that, because if they had social sharing, then I could share the timers with you. I will look at that. But for right now, free version, Gymboss. And if you have your own timer, let me know what it is and let me know if it's better than Gymboss, okay? Cool. Your holiday spirit challenge, actually so fun. We actually had this happen to us 2 nights ago. We were coming home from soccer and someone had booed us and my kids were losing their minds. They thought it was so cool. So anyways, you get to create that for someone else now, and you're going to go and boo somebody. So booing somebody means that you're going to put together a little treat. It can be as big or as small as you want to, and then you're going to attach one of these cards or your own to the door or to the basket of the person that you're booing. It basically challenges them to also go and boo somebody else. So it kind of creates this really fun little circle where you just kind of keep on getting different people. I think it is so much fun to bring in those little elements of the holiday. And I can just tell you from the perspective of my 14 and my 10-year-old, they were like over the moon. They thought it was so cool. So if you have kids, get your kids involved. If you have roommates, get your roommates involved. If you've got coworkers, boo them, right? So just make sure you're getting a fun little circle happening here. Okay, the last thing for this week is, are you on the Facebook page? If you're not a social media user, I totally understand. Just know that we have a really fun community that happens on the Facebook page. There's a little bit more recipe sharing. There's interaction with the other participants, which I think is really cool, so that it's not just you taking on the challenge by yourself for 10 weeks. It is you getting to interact with a group of like-minded people for 10 weeks. And what has happened in the past is it creates a really cool environment. It's very uplifting. I always say it kind of makes social media really, really fun again, because very positive. You're seeing people take on the same challenges as you, and everyone's encouraging each other. And I mean, I just can't say enough good things about the social page. So do I require you to post? Absolutely not. But I think it's more fun if you do. It just gives all of us a chance to get to know everyone in the challenge. So with that, you guys, when you've taken on all of the different pieces for week one, and I know week one is a little bit heavy, but hey, we're just getting started. It takes a little bit more time to get that ball rolling up the hill, right? Okay, so we've got your initial check-in, which you're gonna be able to check off, your 10-week holiday goals, which you're gonna be able to check off, week one nutrition, fitness, and holiday spirit, you're gonna be able to check off. By the way, there are some bonus boxes on the bottom that you might be able to incorporate this week. So one of them, complete a holiday spirit challenge with a friend. Maybe get a friend involved on the boo. Complete a challenge workout with a friend. Feel free to throw something on the social page. Hey, I'm gonna do the challenge workout at this time, at this place, if anyone wants to join me, and then you can check that box off. Or if you're traveling and you have a family member or a friend that you wanna try and recruit to get the challenge workout done, let them know what they're in for. Awesome. You guys always reach out if you have any questions, and I hope you have a blast in week one. See you soon.